edges around. Perfection by degrees, her motto in process. "I'll practice some more, and then we can chat in a few days," he said, the pleased tone of his words causing that bloom of pride she adored so much in her job. "Let me know if you need anything else," Rachel said, raising her voice into the speaker of the MacBook placed precariously on the edge of her dresser. She'd set down the computer so she could simultaneously apply her eye makeup while observing his progression on the screen. They said their goodbyes, and she closed the laptop. Then she yawned. Last night had been another doozy. Could she get away with crawling into bed to sleep for the next 8 hours? No, she could not. Because the load of shit that needed to be done would not do itself. That was the answer to that. Accepting her newest client, the Australia guy, was the perfect supplement to her income. Unfortunately, she'd never been good at pulling all-nighters, not even when she'd been an undergrad, or when her twins were teeny, tiny, itsy-bitsy, cutie-patootie babies. One step at a time, one project at a time, one client at a time, she was making all the things happen all the time. After all, the difference between boiling water and hot water was only 1 degree. The difference between crossing the finish line in first place or second place was usually a matter of millimeters. And the difference between horribly late and let's just reschedule was nearly always separated by Rachel's underestimation of time management. "Rach," her best friend Molly called from downstairs. "Come on, hustle up. We're going to be late." Yes, they were. But what was she supposed to say when James had needed an extra hour this afternoon? She did what she always did. Solved the freaking problem. "Coming," Rachel hollered, hoping her voice carried out the door and down the staircase. "Late," Molly called back. 2 seconds, Rachel called again. Rubbing the remnants of concealer over the dark bags that seemed to have permanent residence under her eyes, she quickly pulled her hair up into a twist, securing it with some corkscrew bobby pins her mother-in-law insisted she try. Former mother-in-law. The meemaw to her twin boys. The momster who usually always got whatever she wanted, even though Rachel couldn't quite figure out how she did it. A quick pop on the scale on her way out of the bathroom and she'd be on her way. One swift step. She could do this. Gah! She hated this part of the day. She closed her eyes when the digital display blinked, and she considered whether the 3 cookies she'd eaten after lunch were going to prove to ruin her afternoon. Deep breath, and she opened her eyes, glancing down. Shit. Damn, that thing was being a total asshole. For the record, she'd eat the cookies again just to spite it. Also, they were really yummy and a gift from a client. They'd arrived at her doorstep warm, with bonus ice cream. And what was she supposed to do? They were meant to be eaten warm. So she ate them. Warm. That was what one did with divine cookies. "Rachel, seriously," Molly called. But her tone sounded as though she'd just discovered the remnants of a dozen warm cookies from Heather's Cookie Company on the dining room table, and she didn't really care if they were that late. Double crapola. "Don't eat those," Rachel shouted, grabbing her favorite sling-back sandals on her way out of her bedroom, her toes sinking only briefly in the carpet because she was on a sprint. Damn it, Molly was as good as Rachel for spider-like senses around carbohydrates and sugar. Rachel should have put them away. Of course her best friend would find the residual cookies. But Rachel had plans for them. There were 4 left. 2 for each of her boys. If Molly ate one, then there would be only 3, and that meant an argument that Rachel did not want to referee. So if Molly ate one, then Rachel would have to eat one. But she'd already had plenty, and she didn't really want the scale to be more of an asshole because her best friend ate a cookie. That made sense, right? "Seriously, Molly, don't eat that." Rachel took the steps 2 at a time, skidding around the bottom of the banister, deftly stepping over errant Legos scattered like landmines past the corner of the office she'd set up there. Yes, she could cut the 3rd cookie in half for the boys. While that might teach them a lesson in sharing, it brought more challenges and probably the food scale to get an exact weight so things were precisely fair. So it'd just be easier if